I think one of the benefits of the Street Machine Nationals here in St. Paul is the ability to show the car or do something with the car, like go run around on an autocross track. And Steve, you guys at QA1 are very involved with the autocross setup.
Yeah, we actually sponsor the autocross here at Street Machine Nationals all weekend. It's a free autocross, so you just sign up and you're able to run your car. It doesn't matter what car you bring. If that's looks like fun, let's do it.
Yeah, I was noticing all kinds of different stuff out there. Muscle cars to late model import front drive.
Yeah, all sorts of cars out there. Yesterday we had a Model T that I talked into running. And I was looking for a minivan, but I haven't found one yet, but nice. Still looking.
Well, QA1 is in the suspension business, and that's why you sponsored that autocross. Here, you've got not only parts on display, but tell me about this this bump side truck we're looking at.
Yeah, behind us is our 72 F100. It's a truck that we call New Blue. It's because at one time we did have two of them. But this is New Blue, and it is a new build. It's got all of our new suspension for the 65 to 72 F100. It's a rear torque arm suspension, as well as the front independent suspension.
That is, you would think that that suspension system would be quite an undertaking. What have you guys done to make it easier to install?
Well, what we've done is it's actually bolt-on. So the whole kit is a bolt-on kit. It replaces the front cross member on the truck, and then the rear, it uses a side C-notch bracket that basically supports the whole suspension to the frame, but it's all bolt-on. There's no welding involved.
Wow. These trucks, correct me if I'm wrong, but that front cross member is actually riveted together, right?
It is. There's quite a few rivets to take out. But once you get those rivets out, that cross member will come out, and then the QA1 cross member will be bolted into place. There's a bottom and a top piece, and then all of the suspension arms and coilovers will bolt right to it. Okay, so obviously the big part is that cross member, but tell me about the suspension arms and the coilovers that you chose. Yeah, so the suspension, you can get the coilovers with our single or double adjustable. We also have our new Mod Series shocks, which this truck is running. That's our one of our brand new shocks. But the control arms, they add 7 degrees of caster, and also it's 3 3/4 inches narrower than like a Crown Vic setup on the front end that you would see. So it leaves the wheel options really open to like a nice dished wheel.
Yeah, and you touched on a couple of points. So there are a lot of people who find a junkyard aluminum Crown Vic front cross member and suspension. And that certainly updates over the original, especially if it wasn't independent. But we all know Crown Vics really don't handle that great to start with,
yeah.
Right? You know.
Yeah.
There was a Grand Marquis, I think, on the Autocross yesterday. And if you saw that thing plowing around, you wouldn't want to drive that. So you obviously made some improvements.
Yeah, and we've been talking to a lot of F100 owners, even the ones that have already done the Crown Vic setup, and the consensus is if they had to do it again, they wouldn't.
Right.
The parts up front seem very inexpensive, and they are, but when you get to the wheel choices, there aren't a whole lot, so you end up doing something custom. It ends up costing quite a bit of money.
Right. Again, and then for something that's got kind of a mediocre design.
Yeah.
So have you guys run this on the Autocross yet?
We did. We just got back. I actually ran it through the Autocross twice. It's a very long truck, and there are a couple of really tight turns. But we did get it done, and it did pretty well.
Now, I'm curious to know, with 7 degrees of caster, you got those spindles leaned back nice, which that effect is like, it's like driving a chopper, you know, you got almost like a long fork out there, which is wonderful for going on the highway, because you can probably let go of the wheel and go straight for miles.
Yeah.
How does that translate to an autocross?
Well, to the autocross, as far as your turning radius, it cuts that down a little bit, so that those couple tight turns in the autocross, it wasn't quite as well, but it's got enough power to kind of swing the back end out, so I was working on that skill.
That's cool. So, I mean, we all know that these are always a system of compromise to get optimal ride quality, optimal drivability, and the best handling that you can. I do notice that it is sitting pretty low. Tell me about the travel and the clearance.
Yeah, so the front you can drop 3 to 5 inches, and that is with a standard spindle. We also, this truck here has our drop spindle version, which would be 5 to 7 inches in the front. And then the rear, you can drop it up to 6 inches.
Nice. And still retain clearance with that drop spindle.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, so if I was to order this up, are they sold separately, front and rear? Is it all one package?
Yeah, so the front is its own package, and then the rear is its own separate package, and that's so you don't have to buy both. If you already have a Crown Vic setup, you can put the rear setup on it. So it's a front and rear setup.
Gotcha. And then, of course, options are ride height and shock and spring options.
Yeah, the front is going to be, the option there is with the standard spindle, 3 to 5 inches of drop, or the drop spindle, 5 to 7. The front comes in 3 different spring rates. We make it really easy. It's a soft, medium, and a firm. Most of the small block street type trucks are going to go right down the middle with the medium. And then if you've got a big block, a bunch of turbos or something, you would go to the firmer spring rate. But the rear is the same way, 3 spring rates, and that's just dependent on if you're a street truck going right down the center with our medium spring rate, or the firm spring rate if you're going to be towing or doing something like that.
Right on. Still being able to use the truck.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
And being bolt-on, I know this is an open-ended question because everybody does things at a different level, but what kind of install time are we looking at? Any idea?
You know, on the front and rear individually, I think if you had 2 of your buddies, you could do it in a weekend. With all the variables of a lift, no lift, jack stands, what kind of tools you're working with, how much beer did your buddies drink before they came over.
Sure, and you got to pull a motor.
Yeah.
And then, like most of us, you probably want to take the time to strip the frame rails and maybe paint stuff.
Yeah,
and that's going to add the open-ended
Once
time.
you're that far in,
Yeah.
you know, you're like, oh, I want to make this nice and, you know, kind of spruce it up. So, yeah, but a weekend is doable for the front and rear.
Right on. And availability, are we ready to go now? Or?
We're ready to go.
Very cool.
We are ready to go.
Well, Steve, this is cool. I'm going to take a closer look at the truck. Thank you for sharing it.
Yeah.
And thanks for reaching out to some of the more less covered platforms like these Ford trucks to make them not only more usable but more fun. And 10 years ago you wouldn't think to see a pickup truck on autocross.
No, and it's not the only one that's out there either. So I encourage people to get out there and do it if that's something they want to do. It's
right.
a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. Having fun with QA1. You can write that down.